All right, rising. What an outstanding performance by rookie quarterback Will Levis. He showed poise. He showed nuance with his pump fakes trying to manipulate the safeties. He showed command of the operation. He showed leadership all around during the game, after the game, taking up for Malik Willis. He had one for the ages. He deserves all of the praise because he was patient. He's been a good teammate. He's had some adversity coming back from injury. He's been the consummate rookie, the consummate professional thus far. But I will have to get this out of the way. This is just one game. It is just one game. Let's all celebrate this time within the media, as people. Let's celebrate this for Will Levis. But at the same time, I have a realization about this one game performance and what is the common themes with these 4 touchdown performances for people in their first game. Like, this has only happened 3 times, including Will Levis. And the common denominator in those games are September 17th, 1961, Fran Tarkenton against the Bears. He came in as the QB2 and finished with 4 touchdowns. That was the first game. So the Vikings knew the Bears like the back of their hands, right? They're a division opponent. Doesn't mean that Tarkenton knew that because he was a rookie So that was a long layoff. So they knew the Bears very well. You look at Marcus Mariota, September 13th, 2015 versus the Buccaneers. No recollection of the team. However, it's a long layoff. It's the first game of the season. They knew the Buccaneers like the back of their hands. Will Levis playing against the Falcons. So many commonalities between those two teams because of regimes. 2 weeks to prepare for this opponent, and we have another 4 touchdown game. Now, long layoffs and familiar opponents has happened for the longest in the NFL. But we can tell by the tape, if you watch the tape, right? All 22 or broadcast, the Tennessee Titans knew this team very well. And as you see, some of the play calls, some of the route combinations were in fact a result of them knowing this team very well. And I'm looking forward to see how Will Levis plays against, a neutral setting, a neutral situation. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, first play, we got just a QB sneak. Obviously, having a quarterback that big, that's going to help. In this play, we have a little motion across the formation, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Tajay Spears is going to do what he does. And I'm just going to talk as well as do a play-by-play, and then things that kind of, stand out I'm going to talk about. But one of the things that I saw for the Titans, they wanted to get the ball out of his hands quickly. They wanted to attack those 2 safeties because they're very aggressive. They like to guess. You can accredit at least 2 touchdowns to that very fact. They're testing these safeties. They did not respect the Atlanta Falcons safeties whatsoever because of how aggressive they were. Their eyes are always in the wrong places. But overall, like the pace of play, the formation, give credit to Tim Kelly. Everything was pristine for this team. And it looks like a team that definitely used their bye week to learn and study about their opponent. I will have to say that some of these looks, especially like pony looks, which is 2 running backs in the backfield, something that I suggested earlier in the year, the Titans hadn't used that much of with the likes of Malik Willis or Ryan Tannehill, but that's showing that the team is progressing and showing what can win. That throw right there, little inside, but it was a beauty. I thought D-Hop stepped out of bounds, but that's a great ability for D-Hop to track the ball. Get away with OPI, maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. And score there. Awesome throw. Awesome backdrop. He opened that hip. So that just shows that some of these throws, like a lot of my knocks on Will Levis, especially throwing left, is opening up that left hip so that he's able to actually get torque and enough air on the ball. And you'll see on one of his touchdowns, he actually opens up that hip and throws a beautiful ball. Before, he didn't do that. A lot of times that pass would have been short. But the Titans, they did a beautiful job of just giving him excellent looks. Almost every single situation he was coached through and he executed. But at the same time, he showed great awareness. Just great awareness. You could tell all these plays were just like literally seared, burned into his memory. He knew this team. He knew the Falcons like the back of his hand. He knew all of these plays. He dreamt of these plays, right? He was in total command the whole game, and you could see it. I will say it's unlike Mariota's first performance because this is the level of actual quarterback prowess and actual arm talent just pops. He's huge back there. He has the muscular build that most athletes in general would love to have. And it just pops. He looks the part. It's a beautiful effort by Treylon Burks there. You love for him to catch that. Great throw. It's as good as a performance that I've seen all year. It's a player that looked like he studied and he wanted it. He showed competitive fire. Titans, once again, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. I actually mentioned them trying to get the screen game going prior to that on my X account. But just perfect torque. That was a little bit behind D-Hop, but who cares, right? We got a good matchup versus, I believe it was a linebacker coming across the field. Just perfect zip. Like we talk about the red zone area, being effective in the red area and getting the ball to a player like D-Hop that can run away from a linebacker. Is just marrying player personnel with your scheme, right? This isn't any different than the normal, Titan scheme. But now they know, okay, we got a linebacker on D-Hop. He can win that all day. And being cognizant enough and aware enough to attack that matchup. And that's what they've been practicing, obviously, and that's what happened. I will have to say for the Neanderthals and the barbershop analyst that don't understand that, oh, he did it against the top 10 pass defense. Guys, they've played against Bryce Young, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Sam Howell. Like, no disrespect to those quarterbacks, but this Falcons team is not a great football team. That's the polarizing aspect of this evaluation, right? The Falcons were obviously a better team record-wise, but they're not a better team all around than the Titans. They've played some lollipops, and that's why some of their numbers are cushioned. But that's not taken away from Levis's performance at all. He did excellent. And I'm just looking forward to see him on a short week. I'm pretty sure the advanced scouts for the Titans have already been, researching and scouting the Steelers. So it could be a similar performance because they knew it was going to be a short week. So these boot actions, I loved how they got him on the run. I love the awareness of that play, but they got him some easy throws that I just haven't seen them do with, a lot of other quarterbacks. And that just comes from the time that they had to prepare, I think. But he showed excellent awareness on that screen to just throw it in the dirt. So a lot of times coaches will tell the player right before the play what to do. They'll be like, okay, if there's nothing there, throw it in the dirt, or on his boot late in the game where he just got down. See, this play is a perfect example of them knowing the tendencies of Richie Grant there. This was just a double move. They knew that safety from studying him for 2 weeks loved to bite on those type of plays. And that's why when I told some people that some of these, almost all of his touchdowns were schemed, like, and that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not taking away from Levis, but all of these big chunk plays were like, okay, this is our opportunity because we know this is how this player plays this. To the NWI touchdown that's coming across the field, that was 100% schemed because it was a double move to the outside, and then NWI came across the formation to attack that single high safety or that safety on that side, Jesse Bates. And you can even go and do your rounds around the NFL where CJ Stroud gives Jesse Bates III his credit about how good and instinctive he is, but at the same time, he takes risks, and the Titans took advantage of that. So this was a good throwaway, right? Because he could have took the sack. And the main thing with quarterbacks is, especially young quarterbacks, is you want to eliminate negative plays, even sacks. Now, obviously, you don't want to get an intentional grounding there, but just throwing in the vicinity of the player, we preserve yardage there. Good throw. I like that throw because on the outside shoulder, that gets batted down, gets punched out. Stands in the pocket, stays strong, gets the ball out, almost picked, right? Trying to force it a little bit, and you'll get that with every quarterback. Good pace, checks it down. Just a masterclass of rookie quarterback play married with great coaching, right? Got him on the move. Back foot, he opens that hip, like what I was talking about, and finds NWI. In the pass, he keeps that hip a little bit tight, and that pass is a little bit short. So we're coming to a close to this game. But yeah, I'm trying to think of all the things that I've said. Oh, I also said on X that I said that the great about this is that Will Levis has an awesome arm. He already is in top 5, top 6 category in terms of arm talent in the league, but we already knew that. I said the good was this team was not going to quit, right? This team is not going to quit. They're going to battle to the end. They're going to fight. The Titans are not going to be short on, passion and tenacity. This is very smart to just get down, protect the football, both hands on the ball. And then I said that in my opinion, a healthy Ryan Tannehill could have done all these things. That's not taking away. And I know a lot of people had something to say about that. I'm not saying to put Ryan Tannehill back in. All I'm saying is the things that Will Levis did was just a byproduct of good coaching, and the plays that he made that was amazing, like the throws. We've seen Ryan Tannehill make those throws. Those were scheme throws. I'm not going to say they were wide open, but let's not act like Ryan Tannehill has like a water gun, like a water shooter for an arm. It's not as strong as Levis's. It's not even as strong as Malik Willis's. But let's give him his credit, but at the same time, let's understand that this was one game and it was a byproduct of great coaching, great scheme, because, that's the reality of it. I believe Ryan Tannehill could have done the same thing. Do I think Malik Willis could have done the same thing? I don't know, but the fact shows that because he didn't start, the Titans don't believe that. So some of the tweets that I'm going to be putting out, a lot of people like to take and grasp my tweets, and they love to create this some sort of narrative and chastisement to their following. But I just think that, this is a performance that is highly predicated on the 2-week bye. Paired with two things, multiple things can be true at once, paired with the amazing talent that you have of Will Levis. Now, what I want to see is him in a neutral setting, in a more conventional setting in terms of, okay, this is the next week, right? This is after maybe a tough game. I want to see him in in-game adversity, right? Because these teams are familiar with each other. And the Falcons, in my opinion, were a little bit overhyped in terms of their talent. They made horrible decisions on special teams. They have a horrible setup on offense. And this defense, especially on the back end, as much as they've been talked about, I've already stated, they haven't played great quarterbacks. Half of their quarterbacks that they played has not been that great. So I want to see them versus a very similar coach, in my opinion, and Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel. Those two, they've been able to make, cuisines out of dirt. And it's going to be an amazing matchup of two head coaches that know how to, adapt. And I want to see how Will Levis responds on a short week, because we all know he's going to start again. As far as the Malik Willis package, I don't believe in packaging Malik Willis. You either are going to commit to him like you've committed to Levis and Tannehill in their type of systems, or just stop putting them on the field. That's simple. Guys, have a great day. And I will see you on the next one.